right, chat, here we go, guys. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games.
That guy's a beautiful man.
Thanks for joining us for today's Path of Exile livestream. We have a packed show today, with announcements for Path of Exile 2, as well as the exclusive unveiling of Path of Exile Affliction, which launches on December 8th on PC and Mac, and on December 13th on console.
Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Huntsman wings.
Ooh, Huntsman.
We'll start with Path of Exile 2, where Jonathan will walk
97,000. 97.
Mark will then take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile Affliction Challenge League, which launches in 1 week. He'll cover the league mechanics.
Alright, I turned it up some, let me know.
Some new content we're adding to the core Path of Exile experience, and some large metagame changes. I'll then show you our annual core supporter packs, and we'll head into our live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask us your questions from Twitch chat. After the livestream, we'll drop the full patch notes.
I'd like to hand over to Jonathan Rogers, Game Director of Path of Exile 2.
107,000.
Hey guys, it's been a few months since we introduced you to the Druid in Path of Exile 2. But one of the things that we're really focusing on now is how varied each of the classes feels to play. The Monk darts around quickly from enemy to enemy, building and unleashing combos. If he doesn't stay in combat, he loses momentum and has to build it up again.
115,000.
The Warrior, on the other hand, is like a slow but unstoppable freight train. A Warrior commits to big attacks and relies on stunning. When an opening presents itself, a Warrior can use even larger attacks to demolish his enemies.
Dude, look at how good that looks.
The Huntress seamlessly moves from melee to ranged combat and back. The true damage potential of the Huntress is only unlocked when you learn to combine ranged and melee abilities together. And then there are the Spellcasters. The Sorceress is a pure caster who much prefers to stay at range and drop powerful spells on her foes. If she finds herself surrounded by enemies, she would rather use an ability to escape than to take them on directly.
That freeze looked sweet, dude.
The Druid is also a spellcaster, but unlike the Sorceress, he uses his spells as a means to support his melee abilities. And by melee abilities, we mean he can turn into a giant animal and rip his enemies to pieces.
Dude. Wow.
Each of these classes feels extremely different to play, but we want to go even further. It's time to check out the Mercenary.
The Mercenary?
Not a job out there I won't take, so long as the pay's good and a crossbow can solve it.
What's up, him? Hey.
I'll take them all down, one bolt at a time.
When thinking about each new class, we really try to think about how we can make combat feel different from all the others. For the Mercenary, that difference is the crossbow. A crossbow is fundamentally different than a regular bow because it fires instantly instead of needing to be drawn back. This means that you need immediate feedback. Clicking the fire button should make the character shoot instantly, just like in a shooter. As soon as we experienced that, we realized that there are a lot of design lessons to learn from shooters, and so we fully embraced them.
Oh, yeah.
In Path of Exile 2, we have crossbows that work like sniper rifles, shotguns,
What?
and assault rifles.
Oh, dude.
But in order to really get shooter-like gameplay, we wanted to go further. In Path of Exile 2, we now support WASD movement. You can now walk around in any direction independent of aiming.
What?
In fact, if this is your preferred method of gameplay, you can use it on any class, regardless of what weapon type you're using. You can change between click to move or WASD at any time.
What?
You can only hold 2 crossbows at a time, but Path of Exile 2 is all about interesting combinations of abilities, and this is where ammo skills come in. This is a burst shot crossbow, and right now I have armor-piercing ammo equipped, which makes it very effective when facing a group of enemies, since it pierces right through them.
Bloody horrors!
But there are other ammos too.
Dude.
For a bigger single target, it might be a good idea to switch to Incendiary. The more projectiles hit the target, the stronger the ignite, so you'll want to get up nice, close and personal with this one. If you have a bunch of targets running at you, you might want to slow them down. In this case, you could switch to Permafrost Burst Shot. Shooting a bunch of smaller enemies at range will chill them, and potentially even freeze them in place. Once you have some frozen enemies though, you can switch back to Armor Piercing. Shooting a frozen enemy with Armor Piercing Burst Shot will explode the ice, doing a huge amount of damage to all nearby enemies. Another feature crossbows have is attachments. This is a grenade launcher. As you can see, when I equip it, it appears on the underside of the crossbow. These attachments are just like skill gems, so you effectively get extra skill slots, and you can augment these with support gems, just like regular skills.
Grenade launcher? What the? What?
Fire in the hole!
These grenades take a while to explode, so it's a good idea to pair them with some kind of crowd control, like Permafrost Burst Shot.
He freaking dude.
We have other grenades too though. This attachment is a flash grenade. It does barely any damage, but it does a huge amount of stun. It can be a great opener before you run into combat.
Surprise!
Now, here's another attachment, an oil grenade. Firing one of these grenades coats the ground and nearby enemies in oil. Oil slows enemies down, so it's another useful crowd control mechanic. Now, another thing that oil can do is be set on fire. Any burning enemy or explosion will ignite the oil, causing extra burning damage.
I was just thinking that too. Like I was literally just thinking in my head, I was like, I wonder if the oil can catch on fire.
One of the problems with burst shot crossbows is that each pellet doesn't do much damage individually. This means that if enemies have armor, then it will be very effective preventing that damage. But thankfully, you can equip an additional crossbow in your second weapon set to deal with the weaknesses of your primary weapon. This is a rapid shot crossbow. Rapid shot is great for closing on enemies because you can shoot while running. In Path of Exile 2, we now have the ability to allow you to use some skills while moving. Being able to create skills like this opens up a lot of new design space and allows us to really increase the pace of combat.
Dude, that looks cool. I'm gonna be using that. Oh yeah.
The armor-piercing version of Rapid Shot slowly erodes a monster's armor. Once the armor is fully broken, you can easily switch back to Burst Shot to deal much more damage.
So pretty much single target versus AoE. This looks insane. Dude, I know, right? Like, what is this? Call of
Being
Duty
able to
mixed
run
with
while
PoE?
shooting with Rapid Shot is also great for when you want to perform a fighting retreat.
Reload!
Using permafrost ammo with Rapid Shot is also useful if you need to retreat. When you shoot the ground, it creates ice crystals. If you draw
What?
monsters back over these crystals, they explode, chilling the monsters.
What?
It's great if you want to set up a safe zone before pulling the next pack.
What?
Slowing enemies down can come in handy if you want to use the incendiary version of Rapid Shot. Using this skill requires that you charge up a little bit before it fires, but as it continues to heat up, it will do more and more damage.
That
It has a
looks
really large
sick.
clip size, so you can just keep firing and firing with it.
And you
But
even
the
have to
other really useful
reload.
feature is that when the crossbow is heated up, it adds extra fire damage to any grenade that you launch. Now I've been using explosive grenades here, but it will work equally as well with flash or oil grenades too. If you use it with oil grenades, the oil will catch fire immediately.
The combat stuff you'll be able to do with all this is going to be insane,
Another
dude.
crossbow type that you can find is Power Shot.
No way.
This one
that's something
works
else.
just like a classic sniper rifle. Use it with armor-piercing ammo and it will penetrate armor on targets. So it's a good idea to use when something's really tough.
I feel like that's more of like a single target thing, though. I mean, that's what snipers remind me of, you know? So that's probably not good
Now this
against
skill
the
has another
group.
interesting interaction with armor break. If an enemy has its armor broken, then your power shot hits a weak spot and does a huge amount of single target damage, with a bunch of extra stun for good measure.
Okay, so it can... Okay.
Now, the incendiary version
know,
of Power Shot
right?
is more like a rocket launcher. It does a big explosive blast at a distance.
Think of that. Like, this is just the beginning of it. Think about all the crazy shit they're going to be adding later on, too. That was beautiful right there.
One of the really useful features of this version is that you can explode any grenades that happen to be on the ground.
Okay, so if you shoot the grenade, okay, it pops it up. Okay. I was just about to say, I feel like it's going to be really hard to, like, determine and, like, set your grenades up good. You
This
know what I mean?
combo also works really well with Incendiary Rapid Shot. I'm going to charge up the heat on my crossbow, shoot out a bunch of grenades, and then start the fireworks with a Power Shot.
Oh, shit.
The ice version of Power Shot creates frost walls at a distance. This is
Yeah,
great
it
for
does.
crowd controlling monsters in tight passages.
Oh, shit.
The wall segments have other uses too. If they get destroyed by monsters, then they will explode, doing a small amount of damage.
So you're going to have to actually use your surroundings for this. Like... I mean, I kind of feel like this is
Now,
more of like
remember
a
that burst
mage
shot combo with frozen
archer?
enemies we did earlier? That works with ice walls too. Let's put burst shot back on. Now I can fill up this area with ice walls, then shoot them with armor-piercing burst shot for a huge amount of damage.
Dude, the look of how it looks when he breaks the ice also is phenomenal. Look at that. Like, really look at those graphics.
Alright, it's time to face the boss for this area. Let's see how we fare against her with all the skills I've shown you so far.
Look, we found Nest.
Not letting you anywhere near it.
Her boobies are wiggling.
No.
She just fucking sit on a baby.
Rapid fire!
Get the baby.
Take this!
The unwanted. I just realized the baby's name was the unwanted. Oh my god. Dude, oh my god. Oh, this is gonna get me. Oh my god. What the fuck?
What is going on in this godforsaken city?
And that's the Mercenary. It feels totally different than anything we've made before, and shows you the range of what's possible in Path of Exile 2.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Wow.